Okay, I'll go through yesterday's trades and then I'll do today's watch list. So, start with PULM. I shorted it near the open, and then I just let's see, here is the open. I got stopped out the first trade, then I made some money on the second trade. I held tiny bit overnight. Call, I trimmed some. EMES, this is just becoming a monster, just going straight up. I have tiny shares left, and I tightened my stop to this mid 19 area. So it's at a point it's very vulnerable to a pullback, and if it can go up like another day, this is going to be on my short watch list. So Fannie Mae, I trimmed some. Pixelworks, I got stopped out near the open. It took out the previous day's lows, took out Friday's lows, and then it just rebounded the rest of the day. It's still on watch. If it takes out this 375, I'll get back in and risk to like 335. Yeah, I've talked about this one before, so you already know about this one. ICHR, ORX, trimmed some, had some very good follow through, almost hit $5, like I've been talking about this one, having the potential to get there. Still have some shares, but now, you know, it can pull back 50 cents, can go back up 50 cents, just kind of 50-50 right now. Twilio, finally. I sold a bunch. Today they have earnings after hours. I'm not gonna hold into it, but I'm really hoping this one can push to 33.50. That would be awesome to sell my last shares. This ATH, the IPO breakout about on Friday, had some decent follow through. I sold a bunch. Still think it can go to 50, 52 or something, but just locking in some profits. PTLA pulled back a little bit. Dries, the stock that just keeps on giving. Wow, did I underestimate this one? I laid out the game plan on in my previous video. Did exactly what I thought it would do. It broke this 430, 445 range. It just went straight up. I would have liked to seen a weaker open, like a red open. It actually gapped up a little bit. So I had bids in out of the gate. I had bids at 435, 430, and 425. I did get filled on the 35s and 30s, but the 25s didn't get filled on. And then I did add a little bit on strength, but yeah, I just, if it had like opened red and then gone green, one could have bought there and then added on a range break. You know, I would have had a lot more size, but still pretty happy about the trade. I was talking about this low fives as a resistance area, the declining moving average. This is where the stock stopped last week, and I thought it would stop here this time also, but it just pushed right through, and I was pretty much all out. I had very tiny shares left at this point, so, and it looks like it's gapping up a little bit in pre-market. I really hope this thing flushes out of the gate. I'm willing to buy the dips on it, like mid fives would be awesome, and then risk to like low fives or something. This thing at this point, this thing, it can go to 750 or something. OPXA was the main loser. I had an alert on it, triggered, I chased it, I didn't even look at the chart. I'm like, okay, this I know the chart, but I ended up chasing it. I bought a bunch of shares at 114. Thankfully I sized down at 113 on offer, so Otherwise the loss would have been well over 3 grand. And then it just didn't have any follow through, and I had to sell it before it closed in low ones, or yeah, mid or 105s, 103s, that area. Nugget finally had a breakout on this one. Okay, now it looks like it's gapping down in pre-market, but that's okay. I bought it here and took out the day's highs. Had a fairly tight stop on it, like 20 cents or something. Had nice follow through. Immediately went up like 60, 70 cents. I sold some. I sold tiny. I sold like 10% of my position. The mistake I made on this one, actually, I should have done this chain up, because this thing, looking back at it, this one showed relative strength compared to Nugget and compared to GLD. So would have been better to buy this one when it took out the opening range highs, but I didn't see it at first. So this one was way stronger than Nugget, and it still is. But that's okay. I'm gonna use at this point. I think I'm gonna use the initial stop, or maybe I'm gonna use a break-even stop. I haven't decided yet. Anyways, I think it can go. If GLD goes back to 120, this Nugget goes to 15. Yeah, those were the trades and positions. So let's look at my long watch list. I'm just gonna go through the new additions. Oh, I need to clean this up. There's just way too many tickers. Like, I have a bunch of bios on watch. This is a bottom bio, extremely high short interest. I think like the 50% plus of the float is short. And this IBB and XBI, the biotech indices, been grinding higher lately. Like XBI, look at the longer term chart. We had a little bit of a bear market after having a big bull run from the 2009 lows. Biotech was the leading sector for like 6 years. Then it pulled back. Been in a bear market pretty much for the past year and a half. So XBI is the smaller biotech names, the riskier ones. So it's been putting in higher lows for a year now. And I think if we break out of this range, I mean, we can go another bull run. Why not? IBB, these are the bigger biotech names. This thing has just been in a brutal sideways range for over a year. Just up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And it's starting to kind of tighten up. Higher lows. And yeah, I mean, this the one. Sooner or later it may go. And if it goes, I want to be there. I want to be in some names that have potential to rally big, like INSEE. Like if the biotech start breaking out, this thing could have an enormous rally. Could go to 15 or something. This one just tightening up perfectly, just higher lows, have a nice net range. This is now definitely on buy watch. If this thing breaks out today, I'm gonna buy it. Zyme, another biotech. They had an offering here. So, but if it breaks out of this range with volume, I will buy it. This Cara, I think it's Cara. Yeah, Cara. They're both. I think they're both doing Mariana related stuff. Cara had a big run. Why can't this Zyme also have a big run? This one is just looking perfect. This is a new addition. Just looks very good. Getting tight on the 60 minute. That's 380, low mid 380s. It's a trigger area. Next leg up could go to 450 or something. So REIT, I'm usually not excited about this sector, but it's a very tight flag. If it breaks out of this low 36 range, I mean, you can the risk is very, very small. and it's had runs before, like last year had a nice run. Actually, 2 nice runs. Netflix is getting there. High lows all the way. Talked about this one before. Looks very good. Just so many tickers. This one probably needs a few more days sideways. Extended in the short run. It's tripled past few months, but if it goes, this thing can go. Why can't it go to $2 or something? If it breaks this 150 area. Labo is a biotech triple ETF. Just stalking. If you can, tighten up a little bit more and then break out with volume, good go. I mean, this thing, as I said, the biotech's been in a sideways range for the past year or so, and this Labo, this thing can put in big rallies, 60%, 80%, 33%, 70%. In this thing, if it gets another rally going, it can go to like 55 or higher. It's all about finding a low risk entry, something where you can risk $1, $1.50, potentially make $5, $7, $10. Another biotech, bunch of biotechs. Ultra thin shipping name. It's too thin for me. I'll delete it. This thing has earnings in a few days. I'll probably pass on it. This is shaping up. A few more days of sideways could be good. If you look at the weekly charts, way beaten down. This thing was at like almost $80 a couple of years ago. Now, I mean, why can't it go back to like 12, $13? 14. A recent IPO shaping up really nicely here. A tight range. This is something. It breaks out this 12, 20 area with volume. This thing go to 15 or something. Low float, biotech, just a very explosive combination. This one it's a bit thin, but it's very tight here. Any volume through this 208, 210 area, and I'll be a buyer. Okay, so this one, I'll remove it. Also, BIOC and TBIO, I'll probably set alerts on those. See the short watch list. Okay, so this one didn't trigger. Ariane, I'm still looking at a breakdown below this trend line, which also in a couple days will be the same as the 20-day rising moving average. If I can find a setup where I can risk $1 or less, 70 cents, $1, this thing could very easily have a $5, $7 pullback. Just building a high level base right now. It's like, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the 7th base in this last, 7, 8 months, 6, 7 months. And one of these days it's gonna fail a base. I had a nice short on it here. It went down 25%. I mean, why can't it pull back 20-25% from this base if it fails this base? EMS, I already put it on my short watch list. Again, it needs one more day. AMD is starting to get juicy. Oh boy, excited about this one. I think it's gonna end up just like Nvidia. A couple of months ago, it just went straight up and then had a little bit of an exhaustion gap. Just crapped out of the gate. Went red at just a nice follow through on the downside. I think AMD. I'm gonna be there. I don't think it's quite there yet. I think I hope it goes to 15 plus. Again, very easy to do that. Like one more up day, and then tomorrow would be a very, very high priority for me. PVG moves with gold. This one had a big move up. I had a nice short on it this stage. Went up like a bunch of days in a row. And hopefully this thing can extend to 13.50 or something. CXRX finally went to that $3 area I've been talking about. I think meet the threes or something. I may try to short it. And PULM looks like it's gapping up a little bit pre-market. I have tiny size. You know, I would love to see this thing test this high fives or something, or maybe even $6 today to get the real short. CNX. Just building a tight range, like it's been doing this for a while now. So I got chopped up a little bit on the short side a bunch of times, and now I just wait for a breakout, probably a breakout. We'll see. I think I had some news. Tesla, I've been talking about this tight range. I totally ignored this one because the earnings is in a few days, but now I kind of wish I'd done some, and the risk was like $2. Oh well. GLBS, this one, I talked about this one in the last video. Former momentum stock, pulled back to support, put in a tight range day, low volume, and I had an alert set on it here, 767, 768, and it triggered. I looked at it, I wasn't excited about the volume. At that point when the alert triggered, this thing had traded like 150,000 shares. So I was like, okay, can't do any size anyways, whatever, I'll pass on it. And it just went up $2 straight up. Even with a couple of thousand shares, that would have added up nicely, but it is what it is. Okay, so that's it.